Hello everyone. Today I am going to share a topic about keratosis obturans and primary auditory canal cholesteatoma. Contents, references, definitions, pathology, bacteriology, etiology, clinical symptoms, investigation, epidemiology, natural history and complications, staging, management options. References: Scott Brown's Otolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery. Definitions: Keratosis obturans, accumulation of a large plug of desquamated keratin in the external auditory meatus. Primary auditory canal cholesteatoma, invasion of squamous epithelium into a localized area of bony erosion with or without bony necrosis. Benign necrotizing otitis externa, formation of an avascular bony sequestrum of the inferior tympanic bone with secondary inflammation of the overlying soft tissue and skin. Pathology: Keratin plug within the lumen of an expanded EAC. The keratin squames are shed from the complete circumference of the deep ear canal, forming a lamina, onion skin, arrangement. Primary ACC, keratin is derived primarily from a sac that involves the bone of the ear canal with bony fragments within it and random keratin in the lumen of the ear canal. Keratin is found deep to the bone fragments. No necrotic sequestrum of bone appears to involve the superficial cortical layer primarily. Histology of the bone: dead lamellar bone with inflammatory cells filling the marrow spaces. Limited chronic inflammatory changes of adjacent skin and subcutaneous tissue. A. Normal external auditory canal. B. Benign necrotizing otitis externa. There is deficient area of skin and bony sequestrum. C. Canal cholesteatoma. A sac of canal skin invades bone. D. Keratosis obturans. The bony canal is ballooned out. Bacteriology: in all three conditions, skin flora and a wide range of bacteria may be cultured. Proteus mirabilis, Staph, Epidermidis, Klebsiella pneumoniae and beta hemolytic strep are found, but no Pseudomonas. Staphylococcus aureus is most common isolate. Etiology: abnormal epithelial migration of the ear canal skin. Movement of epithelium of pars flaccida was revered such that it migrated downwards to pars tensa and moved inferiorly across the whole drum. Keratosis tympanicum, abnormal epithelial migration, AW unilateral tinnitus. Two types of one inflammatory nature secondary to an acute problem, such as a viral infection, causing inflammation of the ear canal which temporarily alters the epithelial migration. This is cured by removal. Two silent type disease that persists and is caused by abnormal separation of the keratin that continues even after the first removal and will need subsequent removals. Etiology: primary ACC post-traumatic or post-surgical, e.g. stapedectomy cases. Piece of exposed bone of the primary auditory canal becomes infected and sequests. The epithelium migrates into this bony abnormality and the cholesteatoma is formed. Primary ACC is distinguished from cholesteatoma that arises secondary to a previous ear canal insult. Idiopathic external ACC results from a reduced migratory capacity of the canal epithelium, which leads to keratinization in situ. External ACC linked to branchial arch anomalies, which result in the retention of epithelial masses and lead to cholesteatoma formation in the floor of the EAC. Etiology: cause of the necrotic bone in no is unknown. The tympanic bone is particularly susceptible to osteonecrosis because of its relatively poor blood supply. The microangiopathy of diabetes has been advanced. No is more common in diabetics, as opposed to the malignant form. Small arterial emboli have been suggested. Repeated local trauma, for example earbud abuse, picking of the ear or the use of hearing aids, is a popular theory. AW respiratory tract inflammatory conditions is difficult to support. Bottari proposed neurotrophic disturbances. Etiology. Etiology of NO may have some similarity with malignant NOE. As the tympanic plate appears to have a relatively poor blood supply, the additional microangiopathy in diabetes, as mentioned above, may predispose it to a vascular necrosis and the formation of bony sequestra. The high sugar content of the bone may encourage Pseudomonas to grow. A similar pathogenesis is found in radionecrosis of the tympanic bone with a slowly progressive obliterative endarteritis. Although diabetics may have a slightly higher incidence of NO as well as malignant NOE, the pathogenesis of the avascular necrosis of the tympanic bone is not clear. Clinical symptoms. CO occurs more commonly in younger patients. Presence with acute severe otalgia and a conductive hearing impairment. Infrequently, the disease is bilateral. There may be an associated bronchiectasis or sinusitis. ACC and NO have a similar set of clinical findings. The most common presentation chronic otria with dull pain or itching. It is not associated with hearing impairment. Bilateral cases 1 in 6 to 12 cases. Most common presenting symptoms idiopathic external ACC unilateral otria with mild to moderate otalgia. A minority of patients unilateral hearing loss or were asymptomatic with the cholesteatoma. Investigation. Microscopic examination of the ear. Co-ear canal can become grossly widened or ballooned such that the tympanic membrane is left standing out in relief in a widened ear canal. ACC cholesteatoma is able to be suctioned and has fragments of bone within it, and there may be some granulation tissue which needs biopsy. No covering on the floor of the ear canal is deficient with granulations around the edges of the epithelial defect. Yellow necrotic bone in the bare area with small necrotic fragments. Investigation. CT temporal bones gold standard for staging and preoperative planning in EAC destructive disease. Allows accurate evaluation of the extent of local bone erosion and involvement of adjacent structures. Should surgery be contemplated for NO, a CT scan may be indicated in order to identify the extent of bone necrosis. Investigation. If Gros infection is present, a pus swab may be taken. If Pseudomonas is cultured, the diagnosis should be queried in favor of malignant NOE. If prominent inflammatory or granulation tissue coexists, chronic granulomatous conditions including syphilis and tuberculosis should be excluded. Audiometry should be normal or show a mild conductive hearing impairment in ACC and NO but will show a marked conductive hearing loss in CO. Biopsy. Histological examination of any granulation tissue is required to exclude malignancy, as the differential diagnosis will include carcinoma of the ear canal, malignant NOE and benign neoplasm that has secondary infection in the external auditory canal. Epidemiology. The frequency of primary ACC 1 in 1000 new otological cases, and for every case of primary ACC there are 4 or 5 cases of CO. NO is probably the most common of the 3 diseases. Natural history and complications. CO occur in either previously normal ears or in ears that have had plugs of keratin needing removal beforehand. CO can cause extensive bony erosion, including otomastodectomy. There are no reports of intracranial complications from this disease. ACC erosion through the anterior wall of the canal may affect the temporomandibular joint and rarely, in advanced cases, extension into the posterior fossa has been reported with resulting intracranial abscess. External auditory canal cholesteatoma staging. Nan et al. External ACC staging based on the proposal that there is a preclinical disease. Stages I and II will not usually present as the disease of ACC. I. Epithelial hyperplasia. IIB periostitis hyperplasia with erythema, A, or denuded but not eroded bone, B. 3-4 canal wall erosion and bony sequestrum invasion into adjacent structures. Subclass of disease stage 4 include mastoid, M, skull base and sigmoid sinus, S. Temporomandibular joint, J, and facial nerve canal, F. Seung Ho Shin et al. Clinical and radiological staging. I limited to the external auditory canal. 2 invades the tympanic membrane as well as ear canal. 3 creates a defect of the EAC and involves the cortex of mastoid bone. 6 involves areas beyond the temporal bone. This classification also includes treatment suggestions as follows. 1 with local care or canaloplasty. 2 with canaloplasty plus tympanoplasty. 3 with the above and mastodectomy and canal wall reconstruction. 4 with removal of cholesteatoma using various techniques. Management options. The pain and deafness AW-CO. Canaloplasty suggested for recurrent CO. ACC conservative treatment is used where the extent of the cholesteatoma erosion. When this is not possible, patients are treated with excision of necrotic bone and cholesteatoma via the mastoid and repair of the defect using temporalis fascia. The only other treatment suggested canal wall-up procedure with repair of the defect, but no long-term follow-up is available of such patients. Management options. No conservative management consists of removing the bony sequestrum once it separates spontaneously, with local toilet and local treatment to control any infection. An oral antibiotic may be used. Separation of the sequestrum, followed by epithelial growth to cover the bony defect. A more aggressive surgical approach, with early surgical removal of the sequestrum down to healthy bone. Adjunctive hyperbaric oxygen considered when there is progression despite intensive local and systemic treatment and when there is necrosis beyond the tympanic plate. Thank you for your time and attention. Please like, share and subscribe.